Hey traders and investors, it's Serge Berger here. As we are heading into the first week of December next week, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of heads up that from a seasonal perspective, we're actually entering a period of the year where markets tend to see a little bit of weakness in the first half of December. To give you guys a little bit of framework around that, you can see this is the seasonal pattern of the S&P 500. So we tend to see this pullback here in the first a couple of weeks or so before we tend to see the classic year-end rally. So that's from a seasonal perspective. Doesn't mean we can't go a little bit higher in the early part of next year or next week and even the entire week next week. But after that, it sure looks like seasonality has a good handle on how this is supposed to work. If you look at it in another chart here, that I've got a seasonal chart, and you zoom in here into the period that I'm referring to, which is right here, this early December period. You can see we tend to see even maybe a little bit of rally in the first week, and then a real mean reversion move into the middle part of December before we see a really nice rally. So that's a fairly strong seasonal pattern. The other thing I want to point out to you guys, and this is good for into year end and early 2016, is what we refer to as relative strength of the small caps as measured by the Russell 2000 versus the large caps as measured by the S&P 500. What I've got here in the top part of this chart is the S&P 500 as represented by the SPY ETF in red versus the Russell 2000 in green. And you can see that relative strength that we've seen particularly over the past let's call it week and a half here in the Russell 2000. So that seasonal pattern here too is starting to work. And if you do a ratio chart of those two, i.e. just dividing the Russell 2000 versus the S&P 500, you can see that relative strength starting to work, and it's also giving us a little bit of technical breakout here. So two things to keep in mind here heading into the first half of December. One, that we tend to see from a seasonal perspective, we tend to see a bit of weakness in equities in general into the middle part of December before we see a year-end rally. And second, we do have the seasonal relative strength of small caps versus large caps, which to me translates into a trade that I want to start looking at towards the middle part of December, where I buy the S&P 500. I'm sorry, I buy the Russell 2000 versus the S&P 500, or just buy the Russell 2000 in absolute terms as well. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.